Good morning. This is Jeff Mucci, publisher of RCR, reporting locally in Toronto. And we're here today with James Moncarz from Versult. And Versult is a workforce management company. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So there are two parts to our business. We're a workforce management consulting firm, and we are also a workforce management enterprise mobility company. So the first part of our business is really helping large distributed organizations improve how they schedule, track, and pay their employees. So we go out and we help large organizations choose the right back-end package, gather the requirements, and then go through and implement one of our partner packages, such as WorkBrain Infor, Workforce Software, TimeLink, Ultimate Software Group. We go in and implement those big packages for them and walk them through that entire process.
Okay.
And what we found in working in this industry and our sort of expertise is going out there is that they get a lot of value from these systems, but they want to be more productive with them. They want to get more out of them. They want to be able to access this information and respond to this information in real time. And we felt that there was definitely an opportunity there to sort of extend this type of functionality through mobility, which is exactly what we've done with our product, our workforce management mobile application called Versobal.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit more about Versobal?
Sure. So Versobal is a mobile workforce management application that allows managers and employees to be able to edit schedules and approve time and clock people in and trade shifts, all the different features and functions of running and operations of a workforce management operations directly from a mobile device. And it's vendor agnostic. In other words, we can work with any one of the partners to plug in their back-end system to mobilize it. And it's also hardware agnostic. So we can put it on a BlackBerry, we can do it on an iPhone, we can do it on a Nokia. And in order to have the entire organization kind of benefit from this connectivity, we can do it through a native application on like a downloadable native application on a smartphone, or it can be done through mobile web, as well as some SMS technology to improve the workflow and the connectivity between the systems. So all of this functionality is tightly integrated with these back-end systems, and so changes that are made on one are pushed and pulled in real time to the others.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the types of customers that you have today?
Sure. So we're working with, like I said before, in our consulting business as well as large distributed clients. We see a lot of value in this for healthcare, in the healthcare field, because the workers are by definition mobile. They're moving around. They're going to see patients, as well as in utilities. So like we were chatting before about, tickets are going to fix things, or people going to, in oil fields to go and work mobile, but even in something like the retail environment where you have a big box store, the footprint there is people are walking around to get from one end of the store to the other is large. We've done some work with the airlines as well, obviously very mobile business. So really large companies who have made the investment in their workforce management system to gain the efficiencies are now saying, well, how can we really increase our return on investment there? How can we extend this and really empower employees to do a lot of these functions directly from their devices?
And can you give me some specific examples that showcase why customers are buying from you? What are the real bottom line benefits to the business?
Sure. Well, there's two. We can kind of break it up. Firstly, we can talk about the productivity gain. So, we speak about an airline manager who's running the floor there, and they're running between terminals and back and forth. And the way I explained it to you before is they have two options. Either they're challenged with their productivity because they are running back to their computer to check these things, to check their alerts, to do their time off, to work on their timesheets, and their scheduling. Or they're simply disconnected because they're choosing not to go back there. So there's a huge gain in productivity, just minutes and minutes and minutes per day multiplied across an entire organization that is gained from having the ability to do this stuff directly from your device. Then you've got the hard dollar savings, which is the idea of simply reducing your labor costs. So if I'm a store manager and someone's missing and there's customers lined up out the door, and I notice that a teller is missing, I'm losing sales. There's going to be a time when those people in line are going to leave, and I'm going to be missing out on those sales. So what do I have to do very quickly? I have to bring somebody in. So I'm going to by bringing somebody in, I need to make sure that I have the most cost-effective labor. So if I'm a store manager, I may think, oh yeah, Joey's a great resource to bring in. Well, Joey may be $1 more an hour than Jimmy. Joey may also have 36 hours per week on his timesheet and is therefore going to be put into an overtime position. And this is very difficult for a manager, in a stressful situation to keep computed in their head. So we use something called smart scheduling, which will actually, it's like predictive selection. It will actually help a manager choose the best resource for that particular time and reduce the amount of, overtime incurred or reduce the general, hourly cost of that resource. Mm-hmm. So you're decreasing your labor costs. At the same time, by having access to all of your employees' information directly on your device and being able to call them and clock them in the second that they show up, you're also inviting those customers further up in the line. So you're getting a lift in sales at the same time that you're getting a decrease in your labor costs. So there's a lot of gains to be had in that area.
Where do you see location-based services coming into play with respect to workforce management?
Sure. Well, we see a lot of that in the utilities and also in healthcare. So, let's say you're a mobile nurse, for example, mobile or home healthcare. The ability to clock in and have that clock associated with a GPS coordinate, which can it can calculate your mileage through mapping, have very accurate prediction of mileage and control costs that way. There's also safety issues there, so by having the device on you, it can remind you if you're in a high-risk situation. Having the device on you and knowing where you are can actually kind of ping you and alert you to say, I'm okay, and be able to respond to that directly. And as well, having real-time availability in a large, manufacturing site or a large construction site, knowing where your staff are and sort of what equipment they're working with, where they are geographically. So there's a lot of possibility in linking the GPS information with bits and pieces of what we call labor metrics or time components.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about some of your partners. You mentioned your product specialist on 2 or 3 different products. Who are they, and how does that relationship work?
Sure. Well, our company is actually founded by a gentleman named Ray Nunn, who's one of the original founders of WorkBrain, which is now Infor. So we have a deep history in this business. We've been in this field for a long time, and we have a great relationship, like you said, with a number of those vendors. On the vendor side, we work with WorkBrain Infor, as well with a company called Ultimate Software Group, with Workforce Software, and another company called TimeLink. And on the technology side, we also work closely with Research in Motion as well as Microsoft. So we're bridging, we're bringing together the workforce management expertise as well as the mobility expertise and marrying those to create value for our clients.
And how does the information get back to the enterprise companies' accounting systems? How do you integrate your solution into their systems?
It's through, I'm not a super technical guy, so I'll sort of stop, but essentially we have an engine through web services that will integrate basically between something like a BlackBerry enterprise server. Yep. Then you have our application layer, our system that sits in the middle, and then connects over there to the back-end database. Mm-hmm. So in real time, we are pushing and pulling information between those 3 systems to get it, from the device back to that back-end system. Okay. And part of the value that we bring is we know those systems extremely well through our experience in workforce management, through our consulting practice. We've implemented, we know these databases inside out. So for us to be able to go in and understand how the information flows and marry that with the processes that we see our clients going through and the mobility, putting all those pieces together is how we've built our success.
And so you're a 3-year-old management consulting company, workforce management consulting company. You started developing your application 6 months ago and launched it in December. Yep. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you expect to see over the next 12 months, 36 months, and 5 years for your company?
Sure. I can definitely go the short term a little bit easier. In the next 12 months, what's going to be really important for us is building out our client base and really solidifying our relationships and our partnership agreements with those vendors. They're big companies. They have a lot of ties into the industry, and we really see a lot of value in partnering for us and for them to be able to offer our solution in a bigger package of a workforce management sale. So that's really the focus over the next 12 months is to build those relationships out. Going forward, it's going to be building out some more specific, like from a roadmap perspective, it's going to be building out more specific vertical functionality. So understanding that workforce management is kind of horizontal. Every company needs to schedule, every company needs to track, every company needs to pay, but getting more into the nuances of, well, what are the unique problems to healthcare? What are the unique problems to manufacturing? What are the unique problems to utilities? So that's going to be a big focus on the product side to start to really dig into those areas. Over the long term, we see a tighter relationship also with partnering with some of the big handset providers, strengthening our relationship with Research in Motion, and just building the business there.
Okay. Now, a lot has been made over the past 12 months about app stores. Do you actually have an app that's on deck? If you mentioned BlackBerry, can I go to BlackBerry's phone and see your app?
You can, not necessarily through the App Store. It's the way that we've done it right now is it's administered through the BlackBerry Enterprise Service. So this is and we differentiate ourselves a little bit there. Understandably, there's a lot of consumer applications out there, and they're great for consumers. But we are really focused on outfitting large organizations with enterprise mobility. So right now, our solution is administered through the BlackBerry Enterprise Server. It's managed by a sort of a corporate IT, and they can push out all of the security. All of the settings can be centrally administered from the corporate headquarters. So you wouldn't go to the store and just pick it up and put it on. It would be part of your IT infrastructure that would allow it to go onto your device.
Okay. Well, in our view, with 3G networks, with smartphones, and with the proven ability for applications, enterprise applications like Salesforce, to be on the mobile phone, we see in the next 12 to 24 months a lot of growth on enterprise software as an application opportunities that are suited for the mobile phone. Is your VerSobel solution today a software as a service, or does it require me to buy a packaged software system?
We could be flexible. I mean, there's definitely a model if an organization wanted to pay like a monthly fee per device. We could do that. There were other organizations that feel more comfortable kind of buying the intellectual property, installing it, and then rolling it out that way. It all depends on we're flexible in that way. There's benefits definitely in both models.
Well, James, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. It was nice meeting you last night at the Mobile Monday.
Yeah, it was a great event.
And we look forward to seeing you in the future here in Toronto. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your time.
All right.